Hello. In this short video, we want to showcase how one of the TM Forum Catalyst projects use CurateFx to define the scope and business case for their particular catalyst. The example we're going to choose today is the intent-driven autonomous networks for smart mobility. So let's explore this project in more detail. Within CurateFx, it gives you the ability to provide an overview of a project, and we also get into the content, stakeholders, and products and services. But within this initial project, what they wanted to do was to explore various commercial and technical challenges that needed to be overcome for the successful development and execution of complex intent-driven ecosystems. And their focus was really on kind of addressing two areas related to mobility. One was in terms of road traffic management, and the second was about the city environmental management for road traffic. Within the landing page here, you can see there's links to different resources and that. And this is just one of a number of Catalyst projects that are available as example projects within CurateFx. And many of these are in the areas of important topics such as 5G and other elements. So in this particular project, let's go through and have a look at the content of the project that they created. So within the content, what they did was they broke it into two areas. They said, first of all, let's make sure we understand the key drivers, the problem statements, and how we're going to measure success for the key participants. And then they went into visualizing the ecosystem and creating specific use cases. So looking at the overall drivers, if we expand this, we can see each of these little cards, which are referred to within CurateFx as a module, captured specific information. Now, we're not going to go through all of them, but let's start off with things from, for example, from a driver's perspective. And what they did was they grouped these drivers based on specific stakeholder focus. So, for example, the toll road operator or the CSP or the city municipality. And for each of these, they were capturing, the title and the description for those particular items. They also went into specific problem statements for each and said, look, as a vehicle user, I need to so that I can. And this became really important input for the technical team to totally understand what was trying to be accomplished. Now, this project was worked on by quite a few companies across multiple locations, multiple time zones, in order to come up with this output. Now, in addition to defining the problem statements and the drivers, what they also did was they used one of the Canvas modules, which is something called the mission model canvas, which is similar to the business model canvas, but it focuses more on outcomes or success factors that are not just revenue related. And you can see down here that they've associated different stakeholders with different elements within here. And also they've defined the problem statements and that. And as you select any of these, you can get more details around that. So you could see, what stakeholders are assigned. They've assigned different colors to indicate different elements, but they could also have actually customized those labels to, specific elements if they wanted to. So the mission model canvas is a really effective way of being able to provide an overview of an entire project from a specific perspective. And this was from the perspective of the toll road operator, but we'll also see from a city and municipality perspective that there's other a different view on that as well. Again, very important when you're looking at things from different perspectives, especially in an ecosystem type project that involves multiple participants or stakeholders. So what we've been looking at here is kind of just going through these different modules that the guys created. Now, if we expand this and look at some of the other items, what they did then was visualizing the ecosystem, because one of the I guess the drawbacks of a canvas is it doesn't actually show you how the interaction will take place between the stakeholders. So what these guys did was they showed in very simple terms, what are the key high-level interactions that are going to be created between these different stakeholders. But taking that to another level, they actually drilled down and provided a lot more detail in terms of the types of interactions that will exist between the different stakeholders and what they're going to do. And you can see there's different types of interactions, whether they're financial interactions. And one of the things with this ecosystem modeling tool, with capabilities within CurateFx, it allows you to say, well, let's look at things from a financial perspective and see where the financial interactions are going to be. So we can start looking at that and viewing that information, but also it can show you potentially where there is no financial interactions, and they could be potential gaps within there. These guys also then went down and looked at it from a connectivity focused ecosystem view, and looking at how that was going to look at it as well within the project. Now, again, all of this has been done in a single platform that's collaborated by multiple team members across different organizations, and they can do this in real time. They then went and started looking at more information and drilling down into different use cases. So if we can using the navigator on the left-hand side, we can click and say, well, what's the use case associated with speed control application? And they use the BPMN module, which enables them to actually show swim lanes of the different elements for the order inquiry use case, and similarly for torque control and others. So at any stage within CurateFx, you know, there are the capabilities to add additional modules, whether those are related to TM form standards. It could have included, for example, items related to the ODA. It could be frameworks. They may also wanted to have a look at more information on things such as activities tracking, where they could create Kanbans that could be integrated with Jira to track the activity on the project. But if we come back here to the project landing page, and to kind of finalize on here, one of the things that we can look at is, here's a list of the key stakeholders that they defined across the project. And within CurateFx, as they're working on the project, you can see here, for example, it shows you what stakeholders are assigned to different elements. But when you're in the stakeholders, you can actually view that information in a textual format as an assignment matrix. So I could click on the CSP, for example, and see what are the elements that they've been assigned to within the drivers modules, within Canvas modules, and so on. So you've got that, and you can export this into different formats as well. But actually what becomes really interesting if you're viewing this as a stakeholder map. So this gives you a visual representation of the stakeholders and how they're associated with different elements within the project. So for example, if we look at the mission model canvas for the municipality, we can actually see, by just hovering over that module, which stakeholders have been associated with which elements. And even if you go down to a level of the value proposition, the key resources, and we can expand even further to see, you know, which resources are associated, which stakeholders are associated with that particular value proposition. The same thing could be done for products and services as well. So this gives a really strong visual representation, and also enables the team to get buy-in from the different stakeholders so that they understand the roles and responsibilities within that particular ecosystem. So going back finally to the overview, one of the things that the product also enables you to do is to create links to other sources. So you can see in here, there's a white paper that was produced by the team that there's links to, and also to the Catalyst homepage. They can also share this with other users, so it could actually be shared as a read-only link to any user that enables them to access this, and they don't even have to be a registered user, that they can actually view a read-only version of this project. So that's a very short overview on one of the TM Form Catalyst projects. There are a wide range of other catalysts, like 40+ other examples of projects available to CurateFx users. So hopefully you found this interesting. And if you have any questions, you know, please don't hesitate to contact me, Kevin McCaffrey at Trident, or any of the Trident team, and we'd be delighted to help you. So thank you very much, and look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye-bye.